Warrior Cats Fanfiction, Murders in the Mist, Chapter 2. Luna smiled gravely at Oculto. His eyes reflected her expression as he gazed motionlessly at her. An awkward silence remained until Luna broke it with a shaky remark. "What do you think is happening?" Luna whispered hoarsely. Oculto moved his eyes to the bush behind her. He knew exactly what she was speaking of. Ever since the first kit's death, more cats had disappeared. There was Almahada, and 2 other kits, followed by prey being slaughtered at night, left in messy heaps of bones. The several cats remaining slept uneasily or had dreams filled with nightmares. No cat trusted the shadows. But shadows aren't always darkness or evil. Fear is the root of all evil, the cause of wrongdoing. And sometimes, evil is right in front of oneself. Oculto's eyes sharpened as he spoke. "I don't know what's happened. No one does." His eyes flickered to the bush again, searching for something. "I said, what do you think?" Luna repeated. But Tom shook his head, refusing to answer. The fur on his neck rose slightly. Luna bit back an angry retort and sat down with a sigh. The wind rustled through the trees. Oculto swiveled his head. "We could hunt?" he meowed gruffly. Luna nodded. "We always need prey," she agreed. Oculto led the way, his broad shoulders rotating slowly, blocking the bright sun. Luna's paws crunched against the brown leaves that were scattered around the ground. Birds chirped cheerfully, setting a lively mood. Mice and bulls scampered through the undergrowth, their small noses peeking through the leaves. Luna growled playfully, her paws itching, twitching, to catch one of the warm, juicy yams. Oculto halted, scenting the diverse prey hiding within the forest. The scent was almost overwhelming with delicious succulence. He spun his head, wondering where to start hunting. Luna stood a few tail lengths beside him, gazing at a tree. A bird fluttered on the ground. Instantly, both cats began their hunting mode. The sun had crept through the sky until it was a little over halfway in the sky. It burned brightly, shining a ray of heat onto the grassy spot. A small pile of prey lay at the 2 cats' feet as they joined together again. A secret smile crept on Luna's face. She hid a purr as she picked up the 2 pieces. "Back to camp?" Oculto asked. Luna nodded, flicking her tail slightly as she patted in the direction of camp. Her paws landed softly against the dry ground. Her eyes flicked slightly as she glanced at the cats scurrying around with grave expressions. A cloud of despair, doom, and cautiousness loomed over the camp area. Not even any kits were playing in the open clearing. The queens stood outside the dens, watching their kits and the camp at once, their backs hunched over and eyes glazed. Luna's eyes misted over as she exchanged a sad look with one of the queens. With a sudden realization, it hit her that one of the queen's kits was the one that was murdered. Sorrow passed over Luna's eyes as she continued into the camp. Reaching the back, she turned and dropped her prey into the meager pile. Blood stained the ground where the animal had sabotaged the supply, leaving it mangled and bloody. Her eyes met with Oculto's. "This is awful," Luna whispered. Oculto nodded. "Everyone is afraid something is going to happen to them," he sighed. "In the middle of the day, too," Luna remarked snidely. "They obviously don't notice the trend. Night, night, midnight." She rolled her eyes. Oculto turned his head. "And that's what the killer would want you to think. Get everyone relieved during the day and unstressed, then strike when no one expects it. Surprise attack," he rumbled with a slight growl. Luna almost choked. Her clear eyes flared as she whipped around to stare at him, though he never met her eyes. Confusion blared through her senses. Shaking her head and muttering something incoherent, the she-cat turned towards the prey pile again to choose a piece for her. Oculto stepped from behind her. "May I share a piece of prey with you?" Luna jumped, startled. Her breath rattled as she inhaled. Yeah, sure." Her breath shook as she picked out a large squirrel. She bit the hanging scruff and fur of the neck and trotted into the forest. She didn't even turn around to make sure that Oculto was following her. She just whisked through the whipping branches until she reached a soft, grassy spot in the open forest. Oculto panted, dropping onto the grass beside Luna. She purposely scooted a few inches away, dropping her gaze to the grass. An awkward silence fell as Oculto looked hurt, scowling. At last, Luna took a tentative bite of the squirrel. Oculto reached forward to eat a small piece as well. Luna snapped back as her whiskers brushed. He flushed, glancing down. Sorry, he mumbled. Luna shrugged. It's fine. As Oculto finished a squirrel, Luna couldn't help but sneak a look at him again. She smiled into the trees, gazing at the bright green leaves. Little did they know, they were being watched. Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for watching, and I just want to let you know there is no more chapters after this. Whoever was writing them hasn't made this, and this is an old fanfiction because I started this project a long time ago. But yeah, so I don't know if this is going to continue, but leave some comments about what other fanfictions you'd like me to read. Doesn't have to necessarily be warrior cats, but that's currently what this is about. Fanfictions about warrior cats right now. It's season 1. Season 2 we'll do another topic, and yep, so thanks for watching, and have fun, and leave comments, and like, and rate, and subscribe.